guys, sorry, I always seem to be running a little bit late, but here I am. We're gonna get block 3 done today. It's a pretty quick one. We're gonna make some flying geese, so let's go. All right, so I did read through the whole directions, and we're gonna start with step 1 that says to put the right sides together. Place these 4-inch squares on top of this 7.5-inch square, and they will overlap a little bit here in the middle, and then I'm going to draw a line here and sew on either side of the line, both sides of the line. So I have my ruler lined up, and I'm just going to draw this line along here, and this is an air erasable pin or iron erasable. Okay, so I have my line drawn, and I pinned them in place just to keep them there while I get situated at the sewing machine. And my presser foot is about 1/4 of an inch here, so I'm going to use that as my guide. Now these fabrics, just so you know, are actually from an Andover fat quarter bundle called Green Leaves. And I do have a few of them left if you want to hop on and grab one. I'm not sure how much longer I'll have them available. So if you're using these fabrics, you're going to want to do that. All right, let's get this other side. I'm sewing 1/4 of an inch from the line. I'm actually have my presser foot right on the line because we do like to make that scant 1/4 inch, and last time I didn't do such a great job of it, so I am making sure that I'm not taking too big of a seam. And there we go, and then we're just gonna cut it. So I have my line here, and this is the cutting line. So I'm going to line up my ruler and just cut on that line. And then we're going to take it over to the ironing board, and we're going to iron these out. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've done all of this. We cut our fabrics. I pre-cut them so you didn't have to watch me do that. So now it says, now cut along the solid line, which I did. And then you end up with this weirdly shaped thing, right? And you wonder, what the heck am I gonna do with that? Well, we are gonna make the flying geese with this. So we're going to place a 4-inch square right here, line up the edges, right sides together, and then we're going to draw a line from here to here. So I'm drawing the line here, and again we're going to sew on both sides of the line. Okay, so I pinned it like I did before. And I am going to sew that 1/4 inch on either side of this line. And, you know, I had a thought this morning. I throw away an awful lot of scraps. I'm just not a big scrap saver and quilter. So if anybody out there would like me to send them my scraps, I'm more than happy to do that. Just post on YouTube that you would like scraps, and I will get them out to you. We can connect some way to get your address. All right, so we have 2 of these, which is going to make 4 flying geese, which is what we need, obviously, for this particular block. And, you know, This fabric here is just a little bit directional, and I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to just sew it the way that it is, and whatever way it turns out, it turns out. It may be going one way in one flying geese and the other way in another. Let's just see what we end up with. Okay, so yes, it did matter that this fabric is directional, and it's directional just a little bit. It's like this little triangle is a little bit longer, or the dots are in the same place where it makes it look like it's different. You can see the difference here, but I don't think it's enough, and it's not going to bother me a bit to have it like that. What I am going to do is I'm going to put it in a different spot, or right across from each other and not right next to each other, so it looks like I did it on purpose, which, you know, I actually did. Okay, so here's what we have so far. We have our 4 flying geese, and we still have these pieces to incorporate into the block. The next step, it says to trim each block to measure 6.5 by 3.5 inches, making sure you leave that 1/4 inch seam allowance at the point of your flying geese. So what she's talking about here is from this point to here, you need to keep that 1/4 inch because it's going to be in the seam and you don't want to lose that point. So I'm going to go ahead and trim, and I will be right back. So I just wanted to show you what I did, because we want this 6.5 inches. I put the 3.25 inch right on this point, and I'm going to trim this edge, and then I'll come over and trim this edge to 6.5 inches. Then I'm going to turn it around, and I will trim the bottom only. All right, so I got all of my flying geese done, and I've put the squares where they're going to go in the block, and I'm going to sew that together, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this block is all done. If you notice, these ended up being just fine because they are going this way and this way. They are opposite directions, but it worked out fine because it looks like they're all going the same way, and it was done on purpose. Yay! And we are done with block 3. I'll see you guys next month.